I don't even know how wise it is to make this video, but I'm just gonna trust that uh, the love that's in my heart is gonna come through on what I say, even though I'm feeling emotional and frustrated. So Sunday, when I woke up in the morning, I was glad that I wasn't a pastor anymore on that day because I knew that if I was a pastor on that day, and if I was preaching or praying or any of those things that would I would typically do on a Sunday morning for the congregation, I knew how hard it would be because of the shooting that happened in Buffalo. Now, I live in an area where we too had a shooting of 10 people in a grocery store just last year, and that tore up our community. And I would say that it probably didn't tear it up as much as it should have torn our community up, given the situation and the circumstances. But it did tear us up. But now we have the situation in Buffalo. Another 10 people killed in a grocery store. This time, the person is targeting uh, black people in their shooting. And it just brings up so much. I grew up never really expecting to be able to see past 18, which I've said to people before, for a lot of reasons. And now that I have gotten to this place by God's grace, I think about my children and the world that they live in. And I think, what can I say to them? What can I say to them when the grocery store that I used to drop my daughter off at had 10 people murdered in it? And now, growing up black, they have to think about the stuff that we have to think about. And I don't really know what to say to them except for live before you die. That's all I can think of to say. Because that's what I told myself a long time ago when I thought that that was going to be my case. People heard me say this before. My only goal in life when I was younger was to not give my grandmother a situation where she would have to lie at my funeral. That was it. That was my goal. I don't want my grandma to have to lie at my funeral, so let me try to be halfway decent. So if I do die before I'm 18, at least she can say something that's truthful. Now I'm looking at this situation and I wonder, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for people to stop and realize that we have no clue what we're doing, that we bought into so many harmful ways of being? We're destroying the planet, we're destroying each other, we're destroying families, just destroying, destroying, destroying. And then we say thoughts and prayers like that's going to do something. And I pray and I think, but it doesn't do anything. What does something is being able to admit to yourself you got a problem and then surrendering to a better way of doing things. That's why I said this whole planet needs a 12-step program, because the first step is admitting that you're powerless. We don't know what we're doing, and we're destroying everything. But something in my spirit tells me that if we can stop, and if we can just breathe and live truthfully in the moments that we have before we die, we can actually transform things. There's a passage in the Bible where this guy says he wants to follow Jesus, but then he says, "Let me go bury my dad first." And Jesus says, "Let the dead bury their own dead." And he wasn't talking about a zombie apocalypse. He was talking about people not being alive while they're walking around. We're not living. We're not loving. We're not being present. We're always looking into the future, thinking about the past, just extracting, 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 and thinking that's a life. I'm just not a fan. And it seems like every system and institution participates in it and demands of other people. And then we do what we got to do to survive. But what's surviving if you're taking everything else out with you? While you're trying to survive, you're extracting from the world. I don't know. I'm just talking out my feelings right now. But I guess if I thought my prayers were going to do something today, I would just say, live before you die, love before you die, because no one knows how many other moments they have. So I guess that's it for right now. I got a lot of things on my mind, obviously, but that's my prayer for you. Live before you die.